What's up, everyone? Welcome to the That's What She Said with Danny podcast. This episode is a little special because we normally record just audio, but since we obviously have the coronavirus epidemic going on, we decided that everyone wanted to be able to check in on each other and see how everyone was doing and make sure that everyone's feeling okay and you can see our pretty faces. So we decided to hop on Zoom for this episode of the podcast. Alexa, Datt here in New York. Danny, you're in New York as well, yeah?
I'm in New York. I'm good. Pretty faces, including Jack's pretty face as well.
Yes. Cardinals ace Jack Flaherty joining the podcast. Jack, thanks so much for hopping on. First, how are you feeling and where are you?
I'm doing well. I'm in Los Angeles, so I can't complain too much. Weather here is pretty nice. Obviously wish we were playing, but making the best of the situation.
So how are you keeping busy? What have workouts been like? I know everyone is getting super creative right now, and we've seen that from you too. So what are you working on?
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing as much as I can. I've kind of been at my trainer's house. He stays at home. So he's like, yeah, sure, you can come over, work out, do what you can, do some stuff at home. I do all my stretching and everything here, but try to do as much as I can, get out, and the only time I'm getting out is to go throw, and that's with guys that I trust and that are in the same world, and we have to make the same smart decisions. So those are with some guys that I trust to that they're doing the right things.
So many people have asked me how this is going to affect not only ball players and them getting prepared for the season, but pitchers specifically. So walk us through what your mindset is like in terms of trying to stay prepared and not knowing when the season is going to start.
Yeah, that's been the hardest thing because when it first happened, we were all like, all right, so we're hoping for, the original thought was, all right, at least 2 weeks. Like, okay, so we're going to, we all got built up. Like the last time we threw about, most guys were about 80 pitchers or so. You got a week left of spring training getting ready for week one. And the next thing you know, it's just like I'm getting ready to start a game on Saturday, and then Thursday, they shut everything down. So we're like, kind of didn't know what to do. We were just trying to figure out, okay, how do we best do this? And originally it was 2 weeks, and then we got about 3 days into it, and they're like, yeah, it's gonna be longer than that. So we kind of went back to just, I guess, playing catch, throwing bullpens, try not to do too much. Just with the talk of scheduling and not knowing, how many games we're going to play or how late into the year we're going to go. So it's just been a lot of kind of, what exactly do we do? And it's just been trying to stay sharp, bullpen wise without throwing too much, and just kind of waiting to hear any kind of news.
Yeah, we're waiting too. And I know, I've been scouring Twitter and Instagram trying to find any new news, some fresh news. I saw Zach Britton talking on MLB Network about potentially having some displaced teams playing at neutral sites. What do you think about that?
I mean, it'd be different, that's for sure. Like, I don't know. They talked about it, as the season goes on or playing later into the year. Just with weather difficulties, it'd definitely be a different experience. It'd be something else, but I don't want to say it takes away from it, but there's definitely a little bit of going on the road and having to go and play another team with their fans and that atmosphere, and just how quickly things can change when the fans get into it. It's a whole different experience. So it might be a little bit different, but, you see the way, like, the World Baseball Classic, how that goes when everybody's kind of playing at different neutral sites. So those games look very, they look intense. They look fun. Everybody's having a great time. So it might work out. You never know.
Jack, for you, I mean, you had an amazing 2019. You're in the Cy Young conversation, and then the season ends. And I can imagine gearing up for 2020, you're ready to go and you're ready to not only compete at the same level you did last year, but also beat that. So what's it like for you in terms of momentum, trying to, build off last year and waiting to play?
I think it's really easy for everybody to kind of, look at the situation and, complain and mope and be upset. And it's okay to do that. It's okay, to be upset, wishing, right now we would be having opening day in St. Louis. Opening day would have been last week. And it's really easy to look at it and just, be frustrated and complain about the situation. But at this point, there's no reason for that. There's no reason to think, oh man, I put in all this work and all this time and I was ready to go. And I was, we were a week away and season was right there. And I did all this, put in all this effort, and it just got taken away. But at this point, it's just about, you put in all that work, you put in all that effort. It's about maintaining it as much as you can and understanding that, it's just kind of another challenge put in front of you as a player, and, accepting it. If it's out of your control, then what is complaining about it going to do? What is, trying to come up with different things to do? You try to control as many things as you can. This is one of those things you can't control, so you just make the best of the situation.
I feel like you ooze confidence in like the best way possible, like physically, mentally, like it just, you're constantly very sure of your abilities. And I think that's super impressive. Love that. And we read that recently someone was asking you guys about pitching depth and rotation. And you said that you guys have the depth to fill 2 major league rotations. So I want to know who's going to be on those rotations.
I mean, that's the way it seems. If you look at our spring training and the guys that we ran out there to start games, we had about 8 guys or so that very easily, they started games and have started games in the past for us. I mean, you look at what our 5 probably would have been between, myself, Dakota, Wainwright, Carlos Martinez, Michaelis as well, when he's healthy. We had Gant start a few games, and he started for us most of 18 as well, who was really good, and then he was really good out of the pen. Genesis Cabrera, who is an electric arm out of the bullpen, he started a couple of games in spring. We signed KK Kim. Ponce, he's pitched games for us out of the rotation. He's pitched out of the bullpen. Austin Gomber, he missed last year, but his first big league start, he had I think it was either a perfect game or a no hitter into the 7th inning, and he was really good for us in 18 in August, where we kind of went on that run, and he was really good. He was really, really important. I don't know how many guys I just listed. It might be 9. And then
my heart's racing. I know that.
Yeah, it's just we had arms, and we're gonna put some guys in the pen, and it's just even more exciting. We had arms. We got guys who they all go out and work hard. Everybody's willing to accept whatever role it is, but at the end of the day, everybody wants to compete and everybody wants to win. So whatever that takes is just kind of the way it's going to work out.
During this time of us all being separate, how are you staying in contact with the guys? Are any of you doing TikTok videos? Are you guys FaceTiming?
I'm actually curious if anybody on our team has gotten a TikTok. If I had to put a guess, if anybody on our team was getting into TikTok, it would be Kisner. And then I would say Dex would be a close second, but that's more, with his little girls. Like, I think he's good like that, where I think if his little girl, if Naya and Ivy wanted to do it, would get into it and he'd do it that way. I don't know if anybody on our team has got a TikTok. I can't see it, but yeah, it's you FaceTime everybody so often, you text, you just see how everybody's doing, what we got going on, if anybody's heard anything, whatever kind of comes about it. It's just, those are your boys. That's like another family. I said it the other day, that every team is like a whole nother family. So you kind of miss out on that kind of feeling.
Who's the last guy you FaceTimed with?
That's a good question.
Let's see it.
On our team?
Yeah. Or not on your team.
Last
guy in baseball.
Last guy in baseball I FaceTime with was Lucas. It was Giolito and Freed. We were all on a FaceTime together, just talking, seeing how everybody was doing. Lucas was headed back to up north with his wife. We were on a FaceTime together. But the other guy, one of my boys is Gomber. I talked to him most recently. That's my most recent FaceTime that I can see. And then Dex.
It's a good list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the most recent. But we
Lex
talk
and
to
I are
everybody all the
thinking.
time.
Lex is probably my last FaceTime.
We were just FaceTiming, actually.
There you go.
Jack, non-baseball related, what are you doing to keep busy? Cards, games, shows, coloring?
It's funny you say coloring because I joked with our pitching coach. He asked me, what are you doing? And I said, I'm really working. It wasn't true, but I said I'm really working on my coloring techniques, figuring out how to stay in the lines and color by numbers. He got a kick out of that, but
I like that you make fun of it, by the way, because
Yeah,
I
show
brought
it.
my coloring
really,
to show you.
wow,
It's pretty good, right?
you went all out with that.
Yeah.
How long did
That's
that take you?
one. Oh, forever. Literally too long. And then this one's a work in progress.
She's going all out with the
So
coloring.
good.
So that's
Yeah.
way too complex. Just keep
Listen,
it simple.
man. It's awesome because you literally spend time doing nothing but thinking about what colors you're choosing, and it clears your head. It really does. It's great.
Yeah, see, I'm too simple for that. It'd be like one color here, one color there, and I'd be done with it. I'd just be like, all right. Haven't done any puzzles, haven't played any cards with the family. I think that'll happen. They don't play a lot of cards. I don't know. But my brother's in school, so he's always doing homework.
Sure.
And there's just
Ooh.
my mom and I, and
Are you
she's
helping
working.
him with homework?
Am I helping him with homework? No.
Are you
No.
cooking? Are you watching any shows?
It's funny. I really should start cooking. The last couple nights, my brother and mom have cooked, and I don't know what I've done, but my brother comes to me afterwards and he always says, thanks for the help. I appreciate it. And I said, "No, thanks. You did a really good job tonight,
You ate the food. Isn't that the helping
I
part?
ate it and I told him he did a really good job. So, I'm just giving him that confidence.
Positive
You did your
reinforcement.
part.
Yeah, exactly. But I've been watching The Wire. So that's something
Ooh.
that I always wanted to watch. So I've been watching that. Movies and The Wire. I've tried to, there's too many times where I have multiple TV shows going and it's hard to keep up with everything. So I've stuck to the one.
That's
Okay.
me. Lex is our show guru, our movie, television series. I am really bad at all that stuff, but Lex is like the guru here.
Well, how are you keeping your time? What else you got to do?
I'm working on my editing skills
There we go.
and I'm trying to do home workouts. What else am I doing? I'm talking to Lex probably
A lot.
25% of the day.
There you go.
Great.
Trying not to order cookies from online is what I'm doing.
Yeah, you failed at that this week, but I appreciate it because they were delicious.
She's calling you out for that.
Yeah. Okay, so listen, this part I'm really excited because we talked to your boy, Paul DeYoung, a month ago. We love Paul. Big fans of Paul,
Yeah.
the person, and Paul,
Of
the
course.
ball player. Yeah.
What about the scientist, Paul?
Oh, that's next level. We're still trying to understand.
Just ask him about that. That's his favorite thing.
Oh, we did.
He went in. Yeah, it was awesome.
So this is what he said about you.
Okay.
He said, Jack may talk a big game on social, but he is a genuine and balanced guy who cares about what he does. His work ethic is inspiring. He's a great teammate to have, someone who cares about the game. He said he talks to me about what he sees from me. He's a bridge between a lot of people. What do you say?
Damn, Paul. I appreciate that. I didn't know where you were going from the get-go. I was a little nervous. I was like, you got to talk some smack right now. I have to give him a phone call and be like, man, you really had to say that? No, that means a lot. That's a good dude. That's my guy. I mean, we met in 15 in Peoria when they called him and Bader up.
Yep.
I've known both those guys since then. So we all kind of came up together, and it's been fun playing with them. That's for sure.
Does Paul talk smack, by the way?
Paul talks his very subtle, dry, little smack talk, and then you get at him and get in his, not get in his face, but you start getting at him, and he'll back off, and he'll if you say something. But the thing about Paul though is he's not a super stubborn guy to where if you actually say something that makes sense, he'll give you the credit, be like, all right, yeah, that makes sense. So
Oh, that's goals right there.
I wish he'd push back. I wish he'd push back a little bit more.
Wait, Jack, do you talk smack?
To everybody. Oh yeah. Oh, to everybody.
What are you
Sometimes-
saying?
Huh?
What are you saying?
Well, it just depends on what it is. If there's a competition, like I'm gonna win it. It doesn't matter if I don't win it. I'm not gonna make an excuse. I'll be like, all right, you get me, but like, let's do it again tomorrow. We'll see what we got. If somebody tries to say that, like, if somebody tries to say another pitcher is better at something than me, and they'll specifically say it to kind of get me riled up, I'll go for a little bit until I realize, like, all right, you're just saying this, but I'm still gonna let you know. And usually it's about another pitcher on the team. We're not going like outside. Yeah, there's always especially between the pitchers, we always have hitting discussions. It's never pitching for some reason. We always argue about hitting, and so we always get into that stuff. But
that's not a surprise to me, actually, at all. That sounds
No.
standard.
Yeah, it seems like it is. We all think actually, everybody else thinks they're athletes, and then there's some of us that actually are. So
there we go. There's the truth.
Sure.
Yeah, that's true.
So we watched this video of you. You listed 5 guys you would sit at dinner with. None in baseball. So Lex and I need to know who are the 5 guys sitting at your table who don't play on the Cardinals
That are in the big leagues right now.
Mm-hmm.
5 guys in the big leagues right now that are sitting at my table, not on the Cardinals. I got to go team by team here. Okay, what?
Do you need a bigger table?
I don't know if I need a bigger table. That's a good question. Wow.
That's Lex's question right there.
That's a good one. One would have to be Scherzer would have to be one of them. I just feel like he's got a lot to say. Be curious to actually pick his brain about what he's got. Let me see. I'm not going to say Lucas and Max. Lucas and Max would typically be there. I'm going to put them out because I talk to them all the time, but those are my boys, so they would,
they're guaranteed a seat.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pick 2 other people. I'm gonna pick 4 others, whatever. I'm gonna exclude them from this conversation.
That's fair.
Let's see. Pirates, nobody. The Cubs, nobody. The Reds, Brewers, Marlins. I would love to have. He's funny. Malik Smith.
Love that.
Anytime around him, he's hilarious. He always has something to say. He's always talking. He never shuts up. Alex Scherzer. Astros, Angels, Reds. I guess I gotta say Trout and just ask him how he's so good. Like, how does he make it look so easy?
Sure.
We like that answer.
Yeah, Scherzer, Alex, Trout. Oh, I'm trying to not pick like my boy. I don't have many boys in the league. I'm trying not to pick them. The Phillies. This is a hard question, man. I need to prepare for this. Shoot.
Wait, can we also just rewind quickly? Remember when I was like, can you please come on our podcast? And you were like, only if you ask good questions.
This is a good question. I was like, I did say that. I don't like the everyday, the same questions. Like, yeah, the questions.
Favorite color.
You know the cookie cutter questions that I have to give like the right political answer to.
Sure.
I like to do that. Damn. Okay. Mookie Betts and who are the best guys? Yeesh. Man, I don't know. Francisco Lindor.
Good one. Great
Yeah,
choice.
Lindor, Scherzer, Malik, because Malik will carry on a whole conversation by himself. Trout, because he's best in the league. And then Mookie, because, I don't know.
There's a lot of personality at that table. I like
Yeah,
that.
everybody's kind of all over the place. We get 2 pitchers and a bunch of position players.
Can
You
we
guys are shutting
come?
the restaurant down.
Can y'all come?
We'll
Are
sit
y'all
at a
paying-
different table.
I mean,
Okay.
y'all are paying for dinner.
There we go. We can do that.
All right, sold.
All right, Jack, we want to do a rapid fire with you, and I'm going to promise you that these are going to be some questions that you've never been asked before. So,
That'd be interesting if I've never been asked them before.
yeah.
All right.
So, give us your best answer in a sentence or two.
Okay.
Who is on your Cardinals Mount Rushmore?
How many? That's 4, right? Gibson, Brock, Musial, and Gibson, Brock, Musial. I guess Albert. Yeah, those 3 for sure. Gibson, Brock, Musial. I'm probably forgetting. Oh, actually, you know what? Ozzy. Gibson, Brock, Musial, and Ozzy. Yeah, there we go.
All right,
I'm sorry,
best,
Ozzy. I almost forgot you.
the wizard will forgive you. All right, best dressed on the team, not including yourself.
Man, there's a lot of good answers there. Like Bader's the easy choice, because he's different. But I'm gonna go with Miles' suit game. Outside of that, very questionable. But his suit game, he always brings it on road trips.
But if you had to include yourself, you would say that you're the best dressed?
I'd say myself, Miles, Bader, and then Wong. Wong don't get enough credit.
You guys are like the Mount Rushmore of fashion on the team.
Well, you get completely different everything with that. Dex is on the outside because when he wants to, he does it and he shows everybody up, but he just chilling all the time.
Just chill.
I'd be curious to hear what Dex had to say about that.
He would probably say the same thing. He came when we went playoffs and he came on the plane. He was in a suit. Everybody was like, "You ain't worn a suit all year. Now you pull this thing out." And he was like, and he had the custom, he had his
Cufflinks?
he had his logo right here and everything, and he had the logo on the inside, and it was like, okay, yeah, we see you've been holding on to this thing.
Yeah,
Like,
the boy cleans up well.
Yeah, he was like, it's always like that. I said, bro, no. When he wants to.
All right, Jack, we know you're into music. So if you could go on tour with one musician, who would it be?
Oh, man. Like, you give me one? That's messed up. Okay, so I've never seen Jay-Z live. Otherwise, I would say him because he's my favorite. But I would say it's gonna come off it would be Chance the Rapper.
Great answer. That's
Seen
my
him
answer
live,
too.
and it was just like a special performance that he did.
So Lex, I know you met him, but I will humble brag right now. And
Yeah.
I went to a pop-up concert of his in Brooklyn, and there were like 30 people there. And it was like the sickest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, he's good. He's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's my favorite. Right now on Instagram, he's posting all of his old concerts and performances that he's done. So I just keep scrolling his Instagram to keep myself entertained.
He's the best.
Yeah.
All right. What about one teammate that you want to be quarantined with?
I gotta be quarantined with somebody on our team.
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna surprise. There's 2 people right now that I would. There's 3 people that and I'm gonna have to pick between the 3, all for different reasons. I would say the 3 choice would be Paul, because Paul would cook every meal, and I wouldn't have to do it. I would just have to clean up. Paul would cook, and he'd do all that. Dex, because we wouldn't kill each other at some point. We might, we'd get close,
Important.
but we would just argue over everything and have debates and whatnot. And then Hicks, because we would just sit there with each other and play video games all day and never have an issue. So super random, but I think I'm gonna say Hicks, and I'm like, whoever sees this would be like, he would never actually do that. It's like maybe we just sit there and play video games.
Who's the most famous person that you've ever DM'd?
Wow. I don't DM a whole lot. Who did I? I actually DM'd Chance one time. And it was for I was going to his concert, and I was like, and this, I mean, it's kind of weird, but it was right after the whole Vegas shooting happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I took a shot. I was like, I was concerned about going. I was like, all right, and I DM'd him something, but that Chance would probably be, I don't DM a whole lot of people. And that was a couple years ago. That was like 3-4 years ago, or whenever it was.
Did he write you back?
I don't know. No, he didn't. I don't know if you guys were digging for some answer, but yeah, that's the best answer that I can have off the top of my head.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
All right, so let's role play here. You are a coach. What would your steal sign be? And we need to see it.
Go ahead.
Can you describe it and show it?
Yeah, just like there'd be one of two things. Like it would be really simple, like where I would just like grab the bill of my hat and just like be really, really simple. Like the most simple sign, like, all right, like y'all, if you want to go ahead. Or if I was just like, if I was really given a steal sign, just run my fingers across my arm, like, go ahead. And if they know it's coming, they're gonna be like, there is no way that is a steal sign. Then you do it, and you'd be like, yep, no, that just happened.
It's tricky.
But I'd probably just grab the bill in my hat and be done with it.
You're not going to be a coach anytime soon.
Exactly. I ain't doing that.
Jack, growing up as a fan, what was the toughest sports moment that you had to endure?
Oh man, that is so easy. There's two. Both are. Oh man, the toughest one for sure was Vince Young beating USC in the 2000s, and they're showing that game tonight, which is so frustrating. It's Vince Young, Rose Bowl 2006, national championship.
Heartbreaker, absolute heartbreaker. I'm sorry, I'm making you relive that.
Oh man, that's the worst. That is hands down, like, just crushing. Like we did a list, my boys and I did a list of like best college football players we've seen in our lifetime that we remember. And I said would do everything in my power to keep Vince Young off the list. And I somehow did, but it still didn't feel right. But because he just agonized every single one of us that game. Yeah, that's a depressing game.
What was your reaction when the game was over?
That this is not real. This didn't just happen. Like he didn't just run the ball in on 4th and 6 like it was nothing for a touchdown. And the game was over. It just didn't feel real.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do.
We're going to make a hard left and we're going somewhere happier now. Give us your celebrity crush.
I'm sorry. What was the question?
Do you need a minute? You need a couple seconds?
I'm just like, I'm reliving it in my head.
Look what you did,
like,
Lex.
Reggie deciding to throw it.
Listen, this is what being a sports fan is all about.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the question?
Well,
Sorry,
I asked. And that concludes today's podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody.
No, I can't end on that. I can't end on that. That's
I'd like to turn left and ask about your celebrity crush.
Zendaya.
Ooh,
Good one.
great.
Yeah.
Maybe sliding in those DMs a little later on.
I haven't done it. Probably won't, but yeah, probably won't. But that's for sure.
How about your guilty pleasure TV show or movie that you watch?
I mean, what counts as I don't know. I don't know if I would have one that's like that I'd put on that. Like, I don't know. What are y'all counting as a guilty pleasure? Like,
How about then your favorite movie of all time?
It would be like Real Housewives or
Yeah,
The
something that
Bachelor.
you're kind of embarrassed to admit that you
Nope.
watch.
I'm not embarrassed to admit anything that I watch on TV or any movie that I enjoy.
What about music that you listen to?
Maybe 5 years ago, it would have been Katy Perry. That would have, yeah, because me and my roommate at the time, I don't know what it was. Well, I don't know what got into us, but sitting in the hotel room in spring training, we would be playing Katy Perry, and we just would kind of look at each other like, "Is this okay?" And we just nod our heads and be like, "Yep, of course it is."
Of course it is. Again, we are oozing the confidence. Big fan here. Big fan. All right, 3 hitters that you most want to face in 2020.
Ooh. Who are we gonna play this year? Red Sox, Yankees. Acuna. The entire Nationals lineup,
Lex loves that.
and then man, who's one more? I guess because we would have played the Yankees this year. I guess I would say Judge or somebody in that lineup because we don't ever get to play him. So I guess. And Vlad Jr. because last time I faced him, I gave up the most famous history in Montreal history. So, yeah, I don't know if it's the most famous. Like Joe Carter's is probably, or actually that's Toronto. So yeah, I've seen that video a million times.
So you want some redemption?
It's just he got me. Props to him. He got me. He hit it forever. They got to enjoy it. I was off the field before the celebration happened, so I didn't have to be out there for it. But yeah, Mm-hmm.
You've seen that video you said a bunch, but is there a moment from last season that sticks out in your head that you're like, this plays over and over again, and I can't wait to have a new movie play?
Oh my God! From last season, is there a play? Howie's double off of me in the NLDS. 2 outs. I think there was 2 outs. 2 outs in the whatever it was 3rd inning, and I missed completely across the plate, and he hit a double into right center. That made it a 4-0 game. 2-0. We were still in it. Strauss is pitching well, but he hit that double and it made it 4-0. And I only ended up going 4 because we had to pinch it and score some runs.
So you're ready to have that memory erased?
Yeah. That whole series, I'm trying to have that erased.
Sure.
Me too.
Move on. Yeah.
Can I ask a quick question to follow up with that? How often do you rewatch moments that are not favorable to you? Do you avoid them? Do you watch them once and get it out of the way? Do you watch it a year later?
I'll watch it to, see if it's a pitch I made, to see, okay, what happened? What did I do? Was it a good pitch? How much did I actually miss my spot by? Because there's times in games where you feel you made a good pitch, and then you go ask somebody, and they tell you, nah, that pitch was down the middle. You'd be like, there's no chance. And you go look at it, you're like, all right, well, it actually was. I thought I threw it where I wanted to, and you didn't. So I'll just watch it for that, but I'm not going to go back and, I remember it well enough where I don't need to go relive it. I have it. I learn from it, move on, take it for what it's worth, then move on. But also I'm not, games where I do really well, I'm not going to, there's times where you have to go watch that, but more to like remember like that feeling or what did it look like. If you start getting off a little bit, you know, watch, okay, this is what it looks like. This is what it needs to look like. And
That's so interesting.
yeah.
Sure. Jack, how about your favorite or go-to post-game meal?
PB&J.
Really?
Yeah, real simple.
Crunchy peanut butter?
No, nobody eats crunchy peanut butter.
Oh, come on. That is absurd.
What do you
Everyone
mean?
eats
We do.
crunchy
Nobody
peanut
eats
butter.
crunchy peanut butter.
We do.
What kind of jelly?
Nobody eats crunchy peanut butter. That's not, yeah, you should
Hi,
just
Danny.
get up and goodbye.
No, Jack. Everyone.
Oh, she's actually
eats
going to get.
I
You'd be
can't
embarrassed
hear
at
you.
how big my jar of it is. What do you mean? It's the most delicious food that's in my pantry right now.
No. Normal creamy peanut butter.
But where's the consistency? You just have the cream and the jelly and there's no crunch to it?
You don't need the crunch. You don't need that.
Need the crunch.
Wow.
Gotta have
You
the
guys
crunch.
are not professional PB&J makers. That's all I know.
Listen, I don't know.
Maybe
if
we
can be
are.
friends.
No, not
This is a
professional
lot.
PB&J makers.
What kind of jelly? Maybe you
Great.
can redeem yourself. Okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I only will do strawberry if for some reason we've run out of grape and I can't find it anywhere and I don't feel like asking anybody for it.
That's fair. Do you cut the crust off?
No.
Do you
You're
cut the
grown up.
crust?
No, I'm just making sure he's not a
Oh, okay.
6-year-old child.
Not a 6-year-old. That would make me 6 if I did cut the crust. It's more I
Yes.
just don't have the time or the willpower to sit there and be like, all right, let me just like nah. Mm-mm.
It was going so well. We were doing so good. Okay, which position player do you want to see pitch this season?
Let me just let him go.
If you need one.
Let's see here. If we needed somebody to get up there and pitch and I wanted to see them throw, well, I did Yachty.
Yep.
I want to see Yachty pitch.
Oh
Like
my God.
really
Too.
comes down to it. I want to see Yachty get on the mound and see what he's got.
Oh,
That'd be the most
Please.
exciting.
Let's make that happen.
Switch. I don't know if I want to make that happen, but I would love to see it. Because if that
Jack,
happens, we are in a very bad place.
Yeah.
True. Jack, have you heard about the Tiger King documentary that everyone's watching?
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
Okay. But
Yet. He hasn't watched it yet.
I haven't.
will
watched
watch
it. There
it.
was no yet. I have.
you will
not
watch
watched
it. And you'll like it. You might be creeped out, but you'll enjoy it.
I've heard interesting things about it.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what's your level of wanting to own a wild tiger?
Like a 1.
No interest.
No. If we're talking Black Panther, like a 10, but a tiger, I'm good.
Oh, Black Panthers are dangerous too, though.
Yeah, but I don't know. I love them, so I just think they're cool. Tiger, like, all right, but
But I love him.
nah.
What would
Yeah.
you name your Black Panther?
That is an unbelievable question. I can't answer that at the time. I'm not real good creative on the spot like that.
It's a great question, Lex.
Yeah, that's a great question. You got me stumped there. I just don't want to give an answer and then look back and be like, wow, that is so not what I would have ever picked.
Oh, all right. Well, maybe we'll give you a few more minutes, but how about this one? Which NBA player could you beat in a game of horse?
That's disrespectful of me to say anybody in the league. That is absolutely disrespectful. That'd be like one of them saying, what pitcher could you go in and hit a home run off of? And if they said anybody, it'd be like, bet, you come on out and we'll put you in the box and I dare you to hit a home run.
I feel like horse is a little different.
Yeah, you get some luck, but here's the thing though, like let's just say I would say, I'm going to go with somebody on the list. If I said like JaVale McGee, right? The second I miss a shot, he's gonna go pull out some like 3 ridiculous dunks. Like, I can jump, I can dunk, but I don't know if I could do what he's about to go do. That'd be no chance.
I feel like McGee would be your best answer because that guy's been unchecked and a fool more than anyone else. They've had their rivalry because he's had some of the worst moves in the NBA.
JaVale has come a long way in his career. JaVale he was an integral part of this team and what was going to happen this year.
Listen, I agree with you, but I knew him when he was with the Wizards, and it was real bad.
Yeah, but he's come so far in his career. There's nobody in the league that I will sit here and legitimately say, especially right now, where I haven't picked up a basketball and I'm not allowed to because everything is closed.
Good answer.
Like I tried to get into my high school gym the other day, and I called AD and he said, "Yeah, we can't let you do that." I said, "Well, I tried. I was bored," and he said, "Yeah, we can't open it for you. There's too much going on." So, he did the right thing. I tried, but he did the right thing. But I'm not gonna sit here and call I can't even think of anywhere I'd be like, yeah, no. Nope.
All right, Jack. Final question: which current pitcher rakes the most?
Which does Ohtani count, or are we not counting Ohtani?
I guess he counts.
Counts.
I mean, I think that's
But that's too easy of an answer. Yeah.
Right, that is too easy of an answer.
Yeah.
Let me see here because we did a pitchers playing position list, so I have to go through my 9, which was myself, Weaver, Waino, Greinke, DeGrom, Syndergaard, Woodruff, Max. Does Lorenzen count? But Lorenzen just hits homers. Sorry,
Counts for
Lorenzen,
me.
I'm not picking you. Yeah, no, I'm not picking him.
Okay.
My 2 would be.
How about no two-way players?
Would be Woodruff and Greinke. Greinke hit 2 bombs in a game last year, and Woodruff just rakes. But I'm gonna say Greinke. I don't know what he hit last year, but
I love that choice.
I'm gonna say Greinke. He hit 2 home. Yeah, just slide that out of the just keep it over there. Nobody needs to be influenced to have crunchy peanut butter. Remember to make the right choice and have some creamy peanut butter in your life. You just got to layer it out well. You got to layer it out well. Make sure you have the right amount of peanut butter, right amount of jelly, good bread.
Are you trying to get a peanut butter sponsor right now?
I can't believe he's trying to influence us here. There's no way I'm being swayed.
That just if you're using crunchy, you just don't know how to make a proper PB&J with creamy peanut butter. That's what I'm saying.
The best way possible. We'll put up a poll. Okay, Jack, I'll put up a poll on Twitter, crunchy or smooth, and see what people say.
Fine. That's fine by me.
And I'll call you out if the poll is in our favor.
You're right, because it's going to be in my favor. It's not crunchy.
Crunch time.
I'm sorry.
It's crunch time all the time.
Can't get behind that.
All right, Jack, we end every podcast with an embarrassing story. So either something that's happened to you recently or something from your childhood that was so cringeworthy that you wish you could completely, like Men in Black, erase it from your memory. Give us your most embarrassing moment.
My friends would have way more that they could tell. Because whenever I think of something, I just that's not. I didn't do anything, and I didn't do anything. See, I don't even know. I'm thinking as a little kid. All right, so the most it's not even. It's just is bad, and for me, it's embarrassing. And I'm sure if you were to watch it, you'd be like, "Oh man, that really happened." I would think I was 7 or something. And we had a game. Let me just make sure I don't have any other stories.
Go through that memory bank.
Yeah, it takes a while. I'm not very good on the spot with stuff like this, but for some reason, this is the only thing that comes to mind. I think I was like 7 or 8, and I was you can ask any of my friends that I grew up playing ball. I was a very emotional baseball player when I was young, like very emotional. And so we were playing, and I think it's like the first level of like coach pitch, or first level of like kids pitching. I was 7, I think everybody else was 8. Because if I was 8, 9, I would have been on another field. So yeah, something like that. And I didn't like start the game off very well. I don't know what happened, but I got super upset and I was frustrated and I was pissed. I'm like crying in the dugout, and I was supposed to go out and play short, and I said no or something like that. And next thing you know, my mom comes in the dugout and it's like, let's go. And at that point I was like, no, I'm good. Like I'm okay. She goes, no, we're leaving. And I was like, I tried to like get my stuff, and she was like, no, we're going home. Like, you're done. Your game is over. We're leaving. And she grabbed my stuff, grabbed me, walked me to the car, put me in the car, and drove me home. Yeah. I'm glad you find that humorous. She can't hold it together.
I bet you still get crap for that today.
She hasn't brought it up in a few years.
Shout out to mom.
Yeah. She doesn't bring that one up. She likes to bring up a bunch of other stuff. She probably has better stories.
You poor thing.
I just like how you were like, no, I'm okay, mom. I'm good. Like, and mom was like,
that's
no.
how every kid is though. Like, once you're you're complaining and crying, and then the parent comes by, like, no, it's not. No, like, let me go. I swear. And then nope. Let's
Cut
go.
off.
I cried a lot too. I won't lie. I'll join you in that. I did cry a lot, but no one ever made me leave the game. But I cried way too much.
Yeah, I was forced to leave. There was one other one where like she didn't let me come home. I don't remember what it was. What did I do? I did something, and like I had to go back to my friend's house. Like, this is the only time she didn't let me come home. And I had to like go to my friend's house, and I was so scared. I was like, oh, please, like, if she comes and picks me up, like, this is not going to end well. And I think like she picked me up like later that night. She was so mad, but it was one of those where she just didn't even say anything the whole drive home.
What did you do?
Yeah, wait, what'd you do?
I wish I remembered. I think I just looked at her funny and like she like said something, and I was like, what did I like? One of those, like, what did I do? Knowing exactly what I did. Mm-hmm. And she was just like, she wasn't having it. She's like, don't. She's like, go. Like, I'm leaving. You find a ride somewhere.
Savage.
Mom, to the rescue.
She knows what she's doing. She knew how to put me in check. She still puts me in check.
Jack, when we talked to Paul, he had one of the more epic, embarrassing stories that we've ever heard. He was on a first date, and his first date accidentally spilled her glass of water, and it shattered on the table, and he got glass in his lap. And hold on, wait. And it cut him, and he was bleeding, but he didn't want to tell her that he was bleeding, so he just kept going on with the date. And then he had to get up because the bleeding wouldn't stop, and he had to excuse himself from the table and
I remember this story
in his pants.
I remember this story because I remember seeing him afterwards. Like, this isn't a long time. This is a recent thing. He had a whole hole in his pants and everything.
He still has the pants.
Oh my goodness. I remember that. Like, he told either I saw him later that night or like the next day, and he showed the mark and everything, and he was like holding it. I remember that. It's just funny I said that because I forgot about that.
Yeah,
I forgot too.
On the podcast, we were like, are we supposed to be sharing this with people? I think this is personal information.
No, that was fun. I did, because I remember seeing him later, and like he had the whole hole in his pants and everything. Yeah.
So good. It was so good.
So good.
Oh, anything like that. I didn't even
Jack, we really appreciate you hopping on the podcast. This has been a blast, especially when we all need a moment of levity. And having you be able to talk about not only what you've been doing, but looking forward to the season. Gives baseball fans a lot to look forward to. So we're excited about that.
Remember that at all.
We threw it in here. We sprinkled it in a little bit.
It's better that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, dude. Thank you so much. I feel like you, like I said, you ooze the confidence, but in like the best way possible. And I know there's probably a lot of kids looking up to you. So keep doing your thing, man.
We love the kids, Appreciate you guys having me. It was fun.
Yeah. Thanks, Jack.
All right. Thank you. And thanks for asking good questions. The good ones. The real good ones.
The
Always.
stumpers.
Always.
All right, dude. Have a good one.